But before we get ready for all of that, we have to do as we always do and get ready to pass it over to two young,
lovely ladies.
Lovely young gentlemen sitting with us at the desk. Andre and Dan are on the set. How the hell are you guys doing?
I'm good, Ben. You know what blows my mind? That Riot's Season 2 prize pool almost matched what they paid for Alaska. Like, Riot could buy Alaska back then. How crazy is that? Valve could easily buy Alaska based off the Invitational 2 and 3 combined. How crazy is that?
If I look at my bank account, I can almost buy Alaska.
Maybe it could have.
In other news, we can also buy Detroit.
No one will ever buy Detroit.
There was a property ad on Reddit the other day for a house in Detroit for $300.
Yeah, I saw that. We went to Google Earth, right, to Google Street View, and we took a look at the house. It looked beautiful.
Yeah, the house looks great. The neighborhood maybe a little bit on the questionable side.
That's okay, man. They're in the World Series, so that's all that matters.
$300 for a house.
It's pretty awesome, man.
That's
always
How
a
much
good
would you
investment.
even rent that out for? That's like Monopoly, man. You pay $300 to own a property.
It's like buying
you rent it out for like $2.
Mediterranean Avenue, man.
$60, man.
Actually, it would be like the Greens, the Pacific around there. Mediterranean would only be, never mind. I played competitive Monopoly back in New Jersey.
Yeah, you can't even name the partner of
for some reason, I believe that.
Huh? It's Pennsylvania, Pacific, and
Those are the Greens.
North Carolina.
No,
Mediterranean
Yes,
and
it
Baltic.
is.
For green?
Yeah, Pacific Avenue. Andre, don't even argue, man, with an Asian and talk about Monopoly.
Oh.
I'm a Monopoly
You wanna
champion.
throw down
I have
Monopoly
a
right now?
Monopoly trophy on my bookcase.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I think it was like 6th or 7th when I was 11 at my local.
I think we need to have like an NASL Monopoly.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'd be down.
And this was out of like 100 people that showed up for one of the fairs. It was awesome.
You know,
But I played Monopoly with Ben. He used all kind of weird rules.
Do you know what statistically are the best Monopoly ones to get?
Before we answer
No.
that, Kevin, this is Kevin's idea of a weird rule.
Okay.
You do not put money in the middle and collect it when you land on free parking.
That's not supposed to happen.
It's not supposed to happen.
Everybody does that.
No,
Really?
Kevin,
It's
it's not supposed
It's supposed to be
happen.
like a casual way to play. Like practice
my
games have
God.
rocks all over the map. That's like
It's,
free parking.
it's like
The
new
jackpot
version.
is awesome.
No.
You guys don't know how to
Jackpot
play
is
Smash
so
Brothers. and
Free
don't know
parking
how to
doesn't mean
play-
you get
Oh
money.
my God.
It means it's free.
Is this guy serious?
Yeah, no, that's
Is this
a
guy
jackpot.
serious?
Even if you don't get anything out of the middle, it's still a jackpot where at the end of the game, everybody's got hotels anywhere, and you just, please let me land on free parking. Please let me go to jail.
all the fines you pay go to the middle, and also if you have to sell your streets, that goes into.
That's a casual way to play.
That is not how
game.
you play Monopoly.
That's not how you
No.
play Monopoly.
See, he's probably the type of person that there's hotels everywhere, and he tries to get out of jail rather than staying in there.
Nah, it's okay.
Judge.
Yes, I do that. Because I like to have fun when I play.
That's right. Kev likes to have fun. We like to have fun. We actually had a lot of fun yesterday with our games as
we did.
well. Andre, why don't we run down what happened in the NASL Rewind?
All right, well, we had 4 matches, which is really nice, but this was the one that kicked things off. Alicia versus Lowly. Everybody thought Lowly was just going to get absolutely destroyed, but watch this. Lowly looks like he's so dead, only funneled in from one area, but he actually cut off the supply and was able to isolate the Colossus pretty nicely.
Yeah, and he stalled it for enough time for the Corruptors to work on the Colossus. Only Stalkers remain. Alicia did still snipe the 4th base, and he was even working on half of the 3rd base, but Lowly stabilized and was able to build up that large Infestor Broodlord composition, using the Zerglings to buy time, which was so critical.
And it looks bad because Alicia really went 3-base heavy into this, but all of a sudden Broodlords come out into the field. Now this is only, I believe, 6 Broodlords over here, but you're going to see a world of difference what happens. I mean, it forces the blink up, the Zerglings are able to surround, and then it clears up the all-in. And from here, because Lowly's still on Hive Tech, where his opponent hasn't really made it over to Mothership Tech, he's so far behind. Lowly actually ended up taking that game.
Yeah, but Alicia did go on to win the series, and Alicia does move up. Lowly is now still at the bottom of his division. But we also had another game, Andre. What happened here?
A little bit of trickery. Dongri Gu just making the best timing ever. This is when Hellions are normally across the map, and that's exactly what happened. And you just do a Zergling run by. This is what Major was talking about on State of the Game, and it was just so effective against Mara.
Yeah, this is such a classic vintage Korean style. Hyun does this all the time. DRG did this well. A lot of Prime Zergs also do this build, and it's just to punish Terrans that are just super hyper greedy. Mara was going for a third command center as well as was already starting to tech. You can see that even after this push, he was trying to drop his armories, add more factories. Without having actual units to control the map, these Zerglings just destroyed everything.
That's right. The thought process is when I have this really early Zergling aggression, I can actually take a third or stay on 2 base, and because you have no scout in the map, I can really punish greedy play.
DRG does win that series 2-0 and is 3-3. Our last series, Andre, this was a really interesting attack, wasn't it? It was with the positioning of the Stalkers.
You know, this is like my rule number 1 in PvP. Never attack up a ramp unless you have something that can crush that. Archons or something like Colossus. But we didn't see that at all. Arthur was just going for it against a player like Hasuabs that has such great defense. But you're going to see Hasuabs slowly crumble. This was really cool.
Yeah.
Zealots warping in on the top and actually trying to mess up the income as much as possible.
And the blink from Arthur was just so bodacious and trying to get into a good position to be able to snipe the Immortals and using his mortal advantage to be able to snipe the remaining of the Stalkers. And of course, the Zealots chase out the pros, but by then it was too late as Hasuabs just fell too far behind and Arthur able to secure the win here. Hasuabs did win one game. He won game number 1 on Metropolis, which actually was a cool like mind game and decision making. And the way I kind of said it in the series, and I want to repeat it again, is that both players made great decisions, but it took to the first person to blink in this series. And I mean blink in terms of the metaphorical way, Andre. Hasuabs closed his eyes first, and Arthur was able to finish off.
That's right. And, I mean, it's really, really cool. A micro feat, I think, in this one match. You can see just continuously smart decision with his units and catching Hasuabs just a tiny fraction of the way out of position, and it really makes all the difference. Hasuabs actually falls 2-1 in this series, and Arthur picks up another win in the North American Pro League.
So that does it for the NASL Rewind. If you guys are subscribers, you can catch all our VODs at nasl.tv and just click on the video section. All VODs, including things like subscriber exclusive, like extra cool B-roll or blooper reels, that's all available to our subscribers right now if you just go to nasl.tv and click on videos. But you need a subscription pass. If you don't, you can watch game 1 of some series, but for the most part, you have to wait a very long time for VODs. But you don't have to wait too long for a great slot of broadcasted games tonight that'll be presented to you by Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.
Thanks a lot, guys, for that rewind.
I'm sorry. I have a question for you. In the beginning of the game, do you get all the railroads or not?
I mean, I like picking up railroads anytime I land on them.
Kevin?
Yes.
Statistically, it's the correct decision.
Good to know.
You guys passed
They're
the
my
test.
favorite property.
Yes. I love the railroads.
Now, which color is the most profitable?
Which color
Teal.
is the most
Teal.
profitable?
What is this?
I don't know how the colors are, the American Monopoly, but I think not the
It's-
very first street, but the very
I
first
really
one, the
like
cheapest street.
Oriental, Vermont.
I'm thinking.
Let's say like this is start, and then you have like the
I
2
really like
cheapest one, and
reds.
then you have the
I'm
3.
thinking reds and oranges.
I think that.
It's actually oranges is really close. It's reds and yellows.
Oh, so that's on the second most expensive side, right?
It's
No, it's the second
directly
most.
across from where you start.
Okay, yeah,
It's
you guys
like
have different colors than we
statistically
do.
I think it's yellow is first. It's this.
The only rule that I want is that when you land on go, you get 400.
No,
That's the only
it's-
go I want. That's the only rule I want, Ben.
It's 20,000
Oh
at all.
my
20,000?
Yeah, we have different.
There's not even $20,000 in
Yeah, no,
Monopoly.
we have different currency.
He's like, oh no, I landed on Boardwalk
I get the bank.
with a hotel on it. Here's 10% of my money. Up, pass and go. Give me that 10% back.
You know, I think Monopoly got dumbed down in the US because you guys are not very good at math, prime example. So instead of using the many numbers, they cut off a few numbers and everything is very cheap.
I
you
believe
guys
it, man.
have a
There's a
dump-
reason why our economy crashed.
20K. Please, chat. Please tweet at us if any Europeans actually played with $20,000 for pass and go. I'd really appreciate
No,
that.
yeah, it's 20 if you pass and 40 if you land on it.
Well, that settles that.
Ben, now I feel like
This is
me
what
and
I
you
have
are
to
the only
deal
ones
with
that actually play it.
every single day. I have to deal with this.
Well, over to you
when I
guys.
played Monopoly with Kevin, it's like I waited till he was like 7 spaces away from my property to buy hotels. He was like, "You can't do that."